is Nancy with Nancy's Garden Soap, and today I'm working with some leftover soap scraps. You could do this with soap dough. I have this stuff here that's a oatmeal milk and honey soap that's very pliable like soap dough, and I'm going to be using it to, I'm going to try rebatching it using this mold right here, and this design that I want to test out. Here's my conceptual idea. Don't mind my fancy drawing. It's half of a daisy type flower, and what I would like to do is to use this leftover soap and form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different parts that I'm going to lay in the bottom of this soap mold here and up the sides, and then fill it up with fresh soap and try to make something interesting and usable. So first thing I have is a little bit of cornstarch on the table. I have a portion that I want to use for the center of the flower, and this I'm going to color an orange using this mica here, clementine mica. So let me just mix that in real quick. That's not quite as orange as I'd like, but I think I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to take this and roll it out until it's the same length as the inside here. I'm going to place it right in there, like so. Squish it down so it's anchored to the bottom. Okay, and next I want to color the rest of the dough a pink color, a yellow color. Let's make a hole in here. Add the mica and mix. So, since I need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these petals, I'm going to take what I have left here. I think I started out with about a pound of this extra soap, and so I'm going to weigh it out, and it's 12.65. I'm going to convert it to grams here. 359 grams divided by 5 is about 70 grams a piece. So let's chop this apart and get some 70 gram pieces. That's 70 there. 62 and there we have 5 pieces that weigh about 70 grams each. I took 350 and divided by 5. 350 grams divided by 5, and that's how I got 70. Alright, I cleaned up a little bit. Let's take one of these. I put down a little bit of cornstarch, and we're going to roll these out so that it's the same length as this right here. It's about 8 or 9 inches. About right, and then I want to flatten it down on one side. Smooth it out. Okay, so now I have a piece that should be a little bit petal-like, kind of like that, going down to the end. And I'm going to stick it on one side right here, like so. and then do the other side. Flatten one side. Flip it. And see, it's got kind of a teardrop shape. It's not exactly equal, but that's okay. And I'm going to set this side in. I'm actually going to trim it. Who knows if this will work. All right, next one. You could probably spend more time getting these top edges smooth for better effect. And so these three will go like this on top with soap in between. Who knows if this will work? Here's the end view, like so. Okay. All right, now it's time to mix up some soap. Okay, I mixed up 1 pound of soap, oils I should say, and I'm going to fragrance it agave lime, and I'm using some coconut palm and canola oils, nothing too fancy because I'm not really sure whether this is going to work out or not. So I just added the lye to the oils. And I have agave lime fragrance oil here that I'm going to add in, hoping that that will go with oatmeal, oatmeal milk and honey. It's probably going to overpower it, but that's all right. Try it out. Stir this up a little bit. And I want to color it green, so I'm going to add that in just a second. Okay, let's color this green before it gets too thick. I kind of like this pear green right here. This is a mica, but I think it's, I'm not sure if it's going to look quite right. So let's start with this. And give it a little swirl in there. It's kind of remind me of 60s colors or 70s colors or something. See, and that turns into a pukey kind of green, which is not what I want, which is why I have my fruit green handy. Here's the fruit green. We'll add some of this in. Add a little fruit green. And stick blend. All right, now that's at a light tray, so I want to get some of this into the mold right away. I'm going to pour this over, bring this over and pour some in. I haven't worked with this mold in a long time, so I'm hoping all is well. Let's pour that in there. Okay. we're good. That's in, and then I'm going to stick blend this a little bit more. See, this mold holds 2 pounds, and the weight of my dough that I'm sticking in is 1 pound, so I made a pound batch. Okay, now the idea I have is to be able to put these in here. It's a little bit too long, so let's cut this off. Cut a little bit off of the one end. Sorry. Get you right into the camera. Cut a little bit off of this end. And I want to stick this in right here. And lay it on top. Right about there. And do the same thing with this other side, which I also think is a little bit too long. Chop off a little bit from each end. And stick it into this section here. Add a little bit more. And then put this one down the middle. Cut a little bit off of each end so it fits. Leave it more. A nice teardrop shape there. Stick that in the middle. And then I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way. I don't know if this is going to work, but hey, I'm having fun and I'm trying something new. So we'll go with it, huh? The other idea I thought would look really cool with this would be to pipe some yellow flowers on top. I don't know if I need to. I might do that tomorrow. Alright, I'm just going to leave it as is, like this, until tomorrow, and we will unmold it and see how it looks. Alright, well, I unmolded this a couple days ago, and let it sit while it hardened up, and it looks a little rough on the end, maybe on the bottom too, but what I want to do is cut off a little bit of this end, and with the soap cutter, and see how it looks. I think what I've decided after looking at a little bit of this is that I might want to waffle cut it, cut it with a different kind of cutter instead of this thing. Make it a little bit more interesting. Because this looks a bit juvenile. Let's see how this is. Yeah. So I think that that's not going to really, it's an experiment. And somehow we have to figure out how to improve it so it looks better. This was I was reusing some scraps of oatmeal, milk, and honey. I want to try using this cutter here to see if I can create more interest and maybe help avoid some of the issues. The amateurishness of my soap rebatch. Not much better, but I think if you guys take this idea and use either your leftovers like a dough or take a soap dough and put it in there, I think there's got to be a way to make this look much better. Now I really stink at cutting straight bars of soap like this. Let's try this. I'm going directly over it and pushing down and hoping that the middle is going to look better than the other parts. Yeah, it's bright, and yeah. Anyway, there's got to be a way to do this. Let's see what else we can come up with. I do think that the crinkle cut's a little bit nicer than just a plain straight cut with a soap cutter. I try to let you see the things that work and don't work. And I think this concept needs some work. But you might have some kind of application or better skills than I have with working with maybe polymer clay or being able to put stuff together. I don't claim to be extremely artistic. I feel like this should be like one of those Save the Children type soaps. Not that there are Save the Children soaps, but you know, something that looks like a child did it, and you know, you raise money for kids around the world who don't have enough to eat. Like Compassion International, where you can support kids, get them into a program to get educated, learn about God, from a local church. I have a, I think it's some kind of peer, I can't remember the name of it, some kind of Save the Children, or Children of the World, I think it's called, Christmas ornament that I love. I think it's sold at Pier 1, Pier 11, Pier something. Even though I don't shop much. Alright, next one, as I ramble at you. This one I don't mind so much. Still needs help. If you end up creating something, I'd like you to, using this idea where you take soap dough and then create something and pour your soap batter over top of it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see your video, if you don't mind. And one more. Of course, I think it's a kind of cool concept. Alright. Let's see this one. There you have it. Alright, let me line these up for you. Well, there they are. Just ask that you be kind in your comments. And anyway, hey, I gave it a try. I think it's a little bit better, slightly better than rebatching and getting a completely brown batch of soap. So, but it's definitely Save the Children-ish. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, other than stop making videos, I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to see my soaps that are available, they're on Etsy at Nancy's Garden Soap Co. or www.nancysgardensoap.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.